I'm Shashank. So currently final year and computer science department. I'm currently doing an internship at Arista Networks. I'm interested in software development and some research projects. Initially, mostly what they do is Arista hires through internships. They initially have an internship of say 2 or 6 months. Once that is done, based on your performance, they give PPO. So during my selection, there were 3 rounds of interviews. The first round was online test. So this was online MCQ based tests. Some questions, mostly the questions were basic networking related, OS related, and very less DSA related. At least for Arista, I can say that. Once that is done, the second round was one-on-one interview, technical interview, where they asked a few C++ questions. I guess there was a third round. The third round was basically a long interview where there was like one long system design based questions. He had asked to make a YouTube recommendation system type of thing. So it was not like say 10 questions, or just one long question. So that was the third round, and fourth round was HR round. So this was the process for the internship hiring. So that was a 2 months internship. So once that was done, they offered a 6-month internship and then PPO. Yeah, so basically for DSA, mostly I follow lead code. Lead code are mostly that one, and code forces. Basically in Arista Networks, at least, they mainly focused on concepts rather than say DSA, hard DSA questions like medium hard type. There weren't questions like that. They mostly asked C++ type of questions. So basics of C++, pointers, function calling, how the value is passed, whether the value is passed by value, passed by reference, is it copied, stuff like that. And mostly they also focused on OS and networking, core OS and networking concepts. But since when I had done the internship interview, that was not taught to us. I had told them that the concepts were not taught, so they agreed to not ask those questions. So the interview is not that strict based on DSA. Like they won't ask you one of those standard DSA questions and take you for hiring. They will ask you core C++, networking, and OS questions. So for those, the books that the slides, the books that they teach in classes are enough. So mostly those are the things that I follow. That was a thing because during the second interview, many of the questions I couldn't answer actually. So there were many core C++ concepts that I was not familiar with. So during third internship, when the interviewer had asked about making the system design type of project, I had done similar type of projects before. Say I had participated in many hackathons. So I have participated around 9 to 10 hackathons till now in the college. And many external hackathons also. So it is very important to participate in real life type of projects also. So not only DSA and CC like core concepts, you also need to participate in projects. So these projects help me to actually perform well in the third round. And in fourth round, the HR round, they asked about my previous projects, my interests. So if we do some hackathons, projects and stuff, you can say about these things during the HR round and the long interview type of rounds, where they will ask you your general capabilities, like how you can work on a general problem. So it is also very important to do projects. And academic background, that was not much of a thing in any interview. Mostly they have a specific CPI cutoff, say 7, 8 or something. This time Arista has come for 9 CPI cutoff. So except for the CPI cutoff, I don't think academic scores value that much during an interview. So either companies mostly focus on DSA questions, or they focus on your projects. Mostly what the thing is, they have a very specific system. See, Arista makes switches, networking switches. So the domain is not like a generalized web development, app development as such. So they have a hardware chip, and they have some C++ type of OS that they have. They run it on that switch. So Arista basically makes the software for the hardware switches. Switches, routers, right? Yeah. So my work there was to test the system. So they had already had the code. So I had to write some code in Python to test it. That was my 2 months internship. And during my 3 months internship, I had to add a new feature to their switch. So it's not some generalized web development or app development, some JavaScript or something like that. It's some hardware programming. So Arista, they mostly want core CS concepts. So if you know that, you can apply that also, because recently Arista has come for sys for that. They have taken from many branches. I know friends from other college also, and everyone they are from diverse branches. It's not like only CSC. There are CSC students, mechanical students, interns from AI, data science branches, information technology branches. Many branches, many friends are there in Arista. So it's not like they need CS branch students, but they need people who are able to work with OS and networking very fluently, and are very familiar with C++. So see, even in college there are many hackathons. So most of the hackathons that I participated were from college itself. So among 9 or 10 hackathons that I participated, mostly at least 6 or 7 were from college itself. So that is one thing. Secondly, you need to look at, say, there is notifications that they send in emails, like college sends notification. There is IIT, that IIT there is a competition, this IIT there is a competition. There are inter-IIT competitions conducted. There are tech, like there is Parsec event in IIT Dharwad, right? Similarly, there are other college specific tech events from IIT, other IITs also. So you can participate in those. Many people have participated in IIT Bombay tech event, IIT Mandi Expecto, if you know, that is there. So many of the tech events are there from other colleges also. If you want, you can also participate in tech events of Hubli Dharwad colleges like BVB. They conduct many tech events. So it's not only like you participate only in the college tech events, you also search for tech events. It's not like it's so difficult to get it. You can go on DevFolio or Unstop those websites to get the events list. You can look at newspapers or college email notifications to get these hackathons. So to participate in hackathons, there are hundreds and hundreds of ways. You just have to search it. Challenges, you can say, is they have their own specific system. So every company, if you go to internship or job, whatever, it won't be like straightforward. You just go there and start working. So there will be some training phase of 2 or 3 weeks. So in that they will tell how their existing code is working, what type of version control they use, what coding language they use, what type of systems they use. So basically, first 2 or 3 months, it was like little bit steep learning curve, because I don't know anything there. They have a huge like 4 GB of code base that the others have written. You need to understand that, not the whole thing, but how it works generally. So basically, the most difficult part was the initial training phase. So once the initial training phase was completed, then you can actually start your work, and it's not that hectic. So the work culture there is not that hectic. They just give you a project and say, just finish it within 2 months and you are done. Like you don't have to report to them every day and tell them what you have done every day and stuff like that. Just in 2 months you have to just do the project that you have been given and you're done. So I would say the first few weeks are the most difficult part, where you have to learn some new things about the company. So basically, one thing that I like most about Arista was their stocks. So currently Arista stocks is increasing. So there was like 5% increase in one day in like last week or something. And they're coming up with new technologies, working with other AI companies and stuff like that. So currently Arista is company is growing. So Arista stocks is very say valuable, you can say that. So that is one thing. And secondly, based on benefits as such, the one thing that I liked was the work culture there is very lenient. As I said, the projects are not that strict. You don't have to report to your manager every day or work exactly like 9 to 5 and then you have to log off, you have to log in at this time. There is nothing like that. It's very free. Just you have to do the project, give weekly updates, that's all. Give weekly updates to the projects. Once you're done the project, you just tell them and they give you a new project. So that is a second thing, very lenient and very peaceful work culture, you can say. And basically what other companies give, that much only, like there is insurance and there is monthly recharge. They will give you a debit card that you can recharge monthly, which you can use for your daily expenses. Other than that, that's all. Extracurricular activity. So mostly I would say the lead code and those things didn't help much. So that was only for the interview part. So even if you go now, lead code, if you do it like to an extent, it will just help you for an interview. But if you want to learn DSA, you need to do other things also. Lead code, there is code chef, there is code forces, contests and stuff like that. But if you're doing only for interview, it won't help you much in the internship. So basically the things that will help you in the internship phase will be the projects that you have done, how you have worked with other people in the team, how many team projects you have done, how much collaboration work you have done with others. So basically in internship, individually not much is there to do, because you can't just go there and say, I will do it myself, I will not ask anyone, I'll just do it myself, sit in a room, type, do and submit. That won't work, because most of the time you have to ask your mentors, you have to ask your friends, you have to ask someone from another team, you have to talk with them, you have to work with them, stuff like that. So mostly what will help is the collaborative projects that you have done in your college, how well you work with friends, how well you manage conflicts if there is something, like even code as well as in real life conflicts. So mostly those things will help during internship. How well you communicate with others, rather than how much you code. That is also a very important part, but the most important part is how well you communicate, network, and how well you tell your doubts, how well you present with others. Yeah, those things. So basically, I would say you should not ignore DSA. I had ignored DSA for a long time. DSA is very important currently, even though Arista is one company that does not take much of DSA, but still they ask DSA questions during interviews. So that is one thing. Second thing is, you should not ignore projects, hackathons, emails that the college sends to you. They are very important. You can add those projects to resume and it will highlight your resume a lot compared to others. So in your and third one is, during my initial internship phases, I actually was looking at stipend a lot. Like, is the stipend good, is the stipend bad, how much is the like company do, like is it a new company, old company, etc. That is one thing that you should not do. Like initially, if you're like in second, third year, first internship time, the most important thing is work experience. So you should not look at what is the stipend, how much are they giving me, what are the benefits, etc. Those things you should not see. You should look at the internship that you can apply and take the best one. That's all. That is your first internship, what I'm saying, not for the job. First time what you're doing, it's for the work. You just look at it like a work experience. That's all. It's not about stipend, money, fame, glory, etc. It's about work experience. Once you have work experience, it starts like a snowballing effect. Like you have some work experience, then you get more work experience. Based on work experience, you get more opportunities, and based on more opportunities, you get more jobs. So basically, the first is work experience. Once you have that in your resume, then you look at, okay, is the company good? Is the projects? Is it the projects that I like? What is the stipend? Those things you see after you have some work experience in your resume. That is third thing. And last thing I would say is, DSA is important, and those projects are important, and prepare for the interview, I would say. Don't just go to the interview without preparation or anything. Just take some time, one day, half a day, think what introduction you're going to give, think about what all projects you have in your say arsenal, inventory, like these are the projects that I can tell to them. Make a list of things that you have put in your resume, so because they see your resume and ask you questions, so make a list of those things. Basically prepare for the interview before going. So basically time management is very important. Mostly I focused on academics part. So currently I am not that much interested in job. Like I want to do this job. It's a very nice job, but I also want to do higher studies and then come back to doing the job. So my I also want to do higher studies, so that is one thing that I focused my academics. Mostly I focused my academics, and as I said initially, I didn't focus much on DSA. So most of the companies that I got internships, the interviews were not DSA oriented. They were projects or a system design type of those type of questions were asked. So the first internship that I did was Quantum, which is a new startup. So they had 10K per month salary. So that internship was for around 4 months. So even in that company, the questions were not mostly DSA based. They were either core maths, core probability, AI ML type of questions. And even in Arista, they were not DSA questions, but core C++ questions. So that is one thing. I didn't focus much on DSA, but you should actually, because most of the companies that hire now, if you're going for placement mainly, and not for anything else, just placement, then DSA is very important. That is one thing. So I focused mainly on academics and hackathons and projects. So hackathons and projects, it's not every day, right? Hackathons and projects come say monthly once or something. And there were some other hackathons that I participated, like for 3 or 4 months hackathons. So basically time management is important. You need to give time for both your academics as well as hackathons. Academics, assignments and all last 2 or 3 days is okay to do, but if you are not able to do it, you need to give more time. But I was able to discuss with friends and do the assignments and all in the last few days, so that other days I could focus on projects. So basically you have to manage your...
Okay. So yeah, what future trends in technology do you think are important to focus on for someone who is entering this software phenomenon?
Okay, software phenomena, new thing, you already know it, it's AI ML. That is the current trend. So if you are doing, so if you want to get into software, if you do like core web development, app development, something generic, that won't be that useful, because currently most of the companies, every company, every AI startup, every investor, everyone is focusing on AI ML. So I heard one of my friends, he was switching his job because there was a new startup that suddenly got funding, like because it was the AI ML type AI project, AI company. So they got immense funding, and the initial salary itself is like 25-30 base type of things. So I would say currently the trend is AI. So you need to just keep changing the trend. So currently the trend is AI, so you need to focus more on AI field. So don't ignore AI at all. Like, just don't say I'm not interested in AI at all. AI is nothing. AI need not be just maths, like research type of thing. You can use the tools built by others to make your own product. So that is one thing. So don't just avoid AI, saying AI is something that I don't like, math is not something that I don't like. So since the current trend is AI, you need to go with the trend. Maybe in some years, if the trend changes, you need to go with that trend. So basically just keep learning new things and keep going with the current trend. So currently I would say AI ML is the trend in software development. So advice for juniors, I would say first is don't do only studies, don't do only coding. So there are other things also. You have to go out with friends, enjoy things like that. Placements, yeah, they will come. Academics, it will be there, but college life is only for 4 years. Then you will miss it a lot in company. So I would say spend your time well in college, and secondly, keep learning. Don't stop learning. Don't stop. Say, yeah, this is all I can do, I will stop learning now. There will be always new things to learn. Apart from academics, you did hackathons. Okay, hackathons, you do DSA, you see some new technology that is coming in current trend. You say Web3, blockchain. Yeah, I don't know about those things. Yeah, so you should always keep learning, keep a learning mentality. Like, even though it doesn't matter, say, if I learn this, will it be useful in the future? If I learn this, will it be useful for placement? Don't think too much about that. If it's a new technology and you learn it, it will never go to waste. Somewhere or the other, it will be used somehow. So second thing, yeah, first is enjoy college life. Second is always keep learning. Third is time management. So don't do only one thing. Don't do only academics. Don't do only DSA, only contest or something. Manage your time well. Split your time across different areas, so that you have some experience in everything. You have some experience in web development, some experience in academics, some experience in DSA. So it won't be like you know only one thing, and if someone asks something else, you just don't know, just blank. You should not be like that. You should know something in everything. That's what it is. Should be versatile.
Yeah. Suppose I'm there in an interview and I'm stuck at a question, like there's a DSA question and I'm not able to solve it. How should I handle that situation?
So it depends. Have you seen that type of question before, or is it some new question that you don't even know to attempt? So one thing I would say is do not panic. Just be calm, chill. Like you take a deep breath and think about the questions for 1 to 5, like maybe 2 minutes. Think about the question. Don't just immediately say I don't know what to do, I am scared. Don't do that. Just take a deep breath. Think for 2 minutes. Think whether you have seen that type of question before. Can you even start attempting it? Can you try a brute force solution, like exponential? It doesn't matter. Can you try some solution that works even though it's completely inefficient? Is it that can you code it, or can you just tell it to them? Just think about how you can tell it to the interview first thing. So do not panic. Do not start. Just think for some time. Interviewers, they won't they won't make you panic. They will give you time to think. So 2 to 3 minutes, just think. And then also, if you do not know how to attempt the question, also just try to attempt it. Just say the givens in the question, what is given in the question, what you want to get out of it. You can say things like how you want to proceed in a brute force way. Basically, brute force type of solutions is kind of easy to tell them. Just you can say try all possibilities and it will work, or try all these things and it will work. You can tell it to the interview. Just keep the after 2 or 3 minutes, keep the interviewer in the loop. don't keep him in the dark. Just do your own thing and then not telling him anything. Whenever the interview asks you a question, just keep the interview in the loop. If you're doing step by step something, you're telling him or her the brute force solution, exponential, it will take hundreds of years to run, doesn't matter. Just tell the interview what you're doing step by step and be calm. That is what happens. The interviewer will help you sometimes. They in Google interviews and all, the interviewers mostly they help you with the interview. So if you get stuck somewhere, they give you a hint and all. You can ask things like that to the interview, like, am I going in the right direction, or do you want something else extra apart from this? Do you want this optimized in this way? So keep the interview in the loop, talk with the interview, communicate with them. Just don't panic and think to only yourself. You should also keep the interviewer in the loop. That's all.